Born May 31st, 1743 in Malden, Massachusetts, William Emerson was the 12th of 13 children of Reverend Joseph and Mary Emerson. Like his two brothers and his father before him, William enrolled at Harvard College at 14 to become a minister and graduated 4 years later. Traveling from pulpit to pulpit over the next 3 years, William honed his craft, combining a charismatic preaching style with moderate theology and an emerging political radicalism that would be put on full display when he came to serve as Concord's minister. Concord's previous minister, Daniel Bliss, had been a student of the Great Awakening, who, while charismatic to some, was divisive to others. William had agreed to fill in temporarily, but before long he was made Concord's permanent minister. This decision was due in part to the late Reverend Bliss's daughter, Phoebe, and William's love for her. By August 21st, 1766, the two were married. By 1769, they were beginning to start a family, having their first of 5 children, William Jr. Around this time, William himself was beginning to involve himself with Concord's militia, and his sympathies towards the Patriot faction of Massachusetts were beginning to come to the forefront when he attended the funeral of the victims of the Boston Massacre in 1770. Also in 1770, the old Manse, the couple's house on the bank of the Concord River, was complete. Moving his ever-growing family into the house, William's political rhetoric also began to radicalize further, and his weekly sermons now railed against imperial oppression and restrictions on provincial liberties. This attitude of championing freedom and liberty did not extend into William's personal life, however, as it was at this time at the Manse that William used the labor of 3 enslaved individuals, Frank, Phyllis, and Kate. This dual status as freedom fighters and slaveholders was one that appeared commonplace in colonial Concord, especially among the economic and social elite of the town. On April 19, 1775, the world changed, and William Emerson not only witnessed it, but was one of the reasons for it. As the regular soldiers marched to Concord to confiscate the munitions that had been stockpiled, William and the rest of the militia were called out. Not long after the fight at the Lexington Green, the Concord militia received word of it, and when they saw the approach of the British regulars in the distance, it was William who would shout, "If we die, let us die here." In the end, they did not listen to William, retreating past the old Manse over the North Bridge and awaiting reinforcements. These reinforcements would come, and soon after, the shot heard round the world would fire across the North Bridge. After the battle, he joined the militia in the siege of Boston, traveling back and forth from Cambridge for the remainder of the year, dining with General Washington and serving as the chaplain in the militia. As the war quickly began to spread beyond Massachusetts, William joined the Continental Army and left for Fort Ticonderoga on August 16, 1776, just a week after his 5th child was born. William's time in Ticonderoga was cut drastically short when, by mid-September, he became severely ill with camp fever. Released from the army, William tried to make it back home to his family, but became bedridden in Rutland, Vermont, and died on October 20th, 1776. While his death would mean that he would never see an independent United States, the sacrifice he and so many others made ensured that generations of other Americans would. William's short life was characterized by passion and controversy and revolution, much like the new nation he helped to build.